Hi everybody, it's Andy and welcome again to my office in Modesto, California. I'm an attorney licensed to practice law in California as well as New York. This video is going to be the first in a two-part series that goes over the concept of a local forum for California state court cases. Now I'm going to talk specifically about California because that's where my experience is, but this concept of a local forum is not like humongously earth-shattering, so I would be very surprised if it does not exist in other states as well. So, as usual, with these videos, the good news is that I can talk to you, but the bad news is that I don't know where you're watching me from. So, as a result of that, I don't know what, rules, laws, forums, etc. apply in your particular state, county, or court. So because of that, the bad news, unfortunately, you are going to have to do research into the specifics of your own situation. The good news, hopefully, is that with all the information that I have in this video, as well as all of my others, hopefully the research that you have to do will be easier, cheaper, faster, etc. So anyway, that said, the best way to kind of explain the idea of a local forum is to draw a parallel to what a state forum is. So a while ago, I put out a video, I'm going to link it right here, that goes over how to get state-level forums in California, state-level court forums rather, in California. So in my other videos, you may have heard me refer to things like the FL150 form, the MC50 form, the FL142, the FL330, the POS40, etc. So all of those form numbers that I refer to, those are going to be numbers to forms that you can get from this video that I'm going to link right over here. So those are going to be state-level forms that you get from this video that basically are used throughout the state. So if you're trying to accomplish task X, in a case in, say, San Diego County, and you're trying to, and you would use like the state-level form for that. If you're trying to accomplish the same task in the same kind of case in, say, Siskiyou County, which is in far northern California, you would use the same form. So that level of standardization hopefully makes things cheaper, easier, faster, less confusing, that type of stuff. So that's the benefit, the big benefit of a state-level form. State-level forms, there are a lot of them, but they are very easy to use. Like, just don't get intimidated by the sheer quantity of them. So the kind of flip side of the coin, though, however, is that no matter how hard you try to standardize stuff, no matter how well you design a particular state form, there's no way to standardize it completely. Like, just California is big enough, diverse enough that for, say, historical reasons, demographic reasons, geography reasons, etc., there is always going to be some variation. And that variation is going to be taken care of generally by a local form. So each county, for those of you not in California, California has 58 different counties, and each county has its own superior court. For the lawyers out there, a superior court in California is the state-level trial court of general jurisdiction. I'm not going to go into what that means exactly, but the lawyers hopefully should understand that. So state-level court, general jurisdiction in California is the superior court. Each county in California, each of the 58 counties, has a superior court. Each of those 58 different superior courts can, in theory, put out their own set of local forums to take care of whatever kind of unique thing in their area cannot be standardized by a state form. Hopefully that was not too confusing. But the basic idea, though, is that you can, in theory, have 58 different sets of local forums to kind of remember and use and all that stuff if you take cases all throughout the state of California. Very few lawyers that I know, at least I've never met one, that actually take cases in all 58 counties. I think take cases in maybe 10 or 12 different counties, all kind of in one region of California. So I sometimes will get confused by local rules and local forums and all that stuff. So I mean, that's why I know local forums and rules probably better than average. That's why I'm making this video, because it's something that I see a lot of people, lawyers included, get confused by or stumble upon and stuff. So anyway, that said, the way to remember it is, I guess, state-level form, standardized throughout the state. It's one form throughout the state that does one particular thing. A local form, however, is something that is unique to that particular county, and it does not go beyond the borders of that county. So even if you live in, say, Orange County in Southern California, and you have a case in Los Angeles County, like the county directly to the north, you have to check what local forms apply in Los Angeles County. You cannot use Orange County local forms in Los Angeles County, and so on and so on. So local forms specific to each county in California. So hopefully that made sense. I can give you a bit of an example, I guess a real world example. So I am in Modesto right now, Stanislaus County. I have another office in San Jose, Santa Clara County, about 100 miles from here. And if you're going to do a divorce case in San Jose, Santa Clara County, there is a local form that you have to fill out that basically asks you what zip code you live in. So based on what zip code you live in, what box you check, the court system there will assign you to one family courthouse versus another. So it's May 2016 right now, so that's still the case. Santa Clara County, I believe, has 5 courthouses, or family courthouses still. In a few months, hopefully by the end of the summer, Santa Clara County is supposed to kind of centralize all their family courts into one kind of complex. So based on that, perhaps that local form will go away. But routing, I guess, to different courthouses, that is a local kind of need that a state level form generally will not be able to accommodate. So there's a local form for that. To give you another example, in Stanislaus County here, if you are filing the same kind of divorce case, there is a local form that you have to print weirdly on paper like this shade of green. And this, my guess is this color is required because the local form that you have to print on it is about case management conferences. And hopefully with a notice printed on color like that, the court is hoping that people are not going to forget and they're actually going to show up for their conferences. If you don't, like I don't have a video yet on case management conferences, but if you don't show up, a lot of kind of logistical kind of organization problems can happen. Courts generally want you to show up. So anyway, I hope all of that made sense. Local forms, like I guess the takeaway, you know what a local form now is. When you file a case, you got to remember both state forms and local forms, whatever they happen to be. So hopefully, again, like I said, that made sense. Tried to make that not too confusing. Go ahead and rewatch this video if you want. But until that next time, I will wish you the best. Thanks.